Ashley Barnes is a 18-year-old TikTok star who has been accused of some pretty disturbing things. She allegedly forced her friends to take illegal substances and forcibly make out with them. Evidence also surfaced of a drawer full of handcuffs and other inappropriate things that dubbed her the Diddy drawer. But this isn't just about one horrifying night. Multiple victims have come forward, revealing a disturbing pattern spanning years. Former friends, ex-girlfriends, and even childhood acquaintances all tell similar stories of boundary violations, manipulation, and coercion. What makes someone commit such disturbing acts? Could it have been Michael Barnes, an Ivy League educated psychologist who allegedly enabled his daughter's addiction while profiting from her social media empire? There's a dark history here of trauma, exploitation for money, and alleged childhood SA that transformed a young mental health advocate into a alleged abuser herself. And real quick, if you like videos like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Ashley has a TikTok with over 2 million followers, with some of her videos getting all the way up to almost 30 million views. She also has a second account called Not Ashley Barnes with over 600,000 followers and a Instagram account with 90,000 followers. Once the allegations surfaced on July 2025, she lost 200,000 followers. She started posting on TikTok June 2022 when she was 14, and she initially gained followers by posting about her mental health struggles. She openly shared about her eating disorders and body image issues, and apparently was also bullied at school. She was in such a bad place mentally that simple things like brushing her hair or teeth were difficult for her.
I posted this video of me brushing my teeth with the caption, "It's been a while since I've done this," because my mental health was in such a bad state where it's like I wasn't even taking care of myself.
And for context of what she was talking about, here's videos of her brushing her teeth, working towards being more consistent with it. And it was her father that actually encouraged her and supported her in posting content.
It got 200 likes. I didn't even want to post it. I showed it to my dad because I just wanted to show him I was proud of the video I made. And he was the one who told me to post it. So literally day one, my father has been my supporter.
She's also known for doing collabs with other creators such as Piper Raquel. She would also fly across the country to attend influencer parties, missing out on tests in school. She's also been quite open about her sexuality, which has gotten her a lot of support. She said, "My dad can confirm I came out to him at 9 or 10. But some people would question this, thinking that she was lying just to get clout, where they would say Savannah exposed her, saying she was really straight and that she made the queer community look bad. I low-key feel like she's lying. She started off saying she was bi, and I think she gained more attraction when she talked about girls. So then she steered towards that direction for clout. Now her captions say stuff like #WLW when she literally was hitting on guys, SA'd guys, and apparently already did really inappropriate things with an older dude while in LA. Ashley has even spread SA awareness, where one post even suggests that she has been a victim of SA herself. She even performed a monologue about SA at her school, and when she made this post, her account blew up.
Why I hate the color red. With my flip sequence panda backpack, he moved to my state, my town. He moves the laptop out the way, and for the first time, I hated the attention. Trying to form words, get out, we're children in school. So I'm taking red, is why I love the color red.
But before we get into all that, let me quickly tell you some details about her early life, especially some details about her father. Ashley was born November 2007 in Los Angeles, adopted as a baby by Michael Barnes and his then wife. They later divorced. She doesn't have a strong mother figure in her life and never met her biological mother, where a post on Reddit would be made saying her family story is confusing. We know she was adopted by her dad. She never met her birth mom. He has a wife, but she's not supposed to call her mom. Her and her stepmom aren't close. When people ask Ashley about her mom, she says she lives in another state. Was he divorced and remarried? Because I remember Ashley talking about how she moved. A person would leave a comment saying she doesn't. Her mom gave her up for adoption to Michael and his wife. Her adopted mom divorced Michael and is apparently abusive, but Ashley lies too much that we don't actually know. Michael remarried a woman who is Ashley's stepmom, but she asked Ashley to call her by her first name. Her sister Haley is also adopted, and they're not biological biologically related, but were raised together with only a 10-month age difference. Ashley would frequently post videos with her father showing him as a supportive and cool dad. And Michael Barnes runs AA meetings and has struggled with addiction himself. He also has extensive education in psychology with degrees from Yale University. Despite his psychology background, he allegedly failed to get Ashley the help she needed for her addiction and mental health issues, with one person saying there's no way he has a degree in psychology and only found out about her addiction after the hotel thing. He definitely knew and just failed to parent her. It makes me almost feel sorry for her, honestly. Of course, she's disgusting, but I can't help but think if he actually parented her, none of this would have ever happened. Michael had a TikTok account with 300,000 followers, but he has deactivated all of his social media accounts since the hotel incident, and we'll talk more about that later. His social media content would revolve around his daughters. Apparently, he would openly discuss his daughter's issues, where one person would say, obviously, she posted about it first, and I'm sure he ran this by her before, but this is just so weird to me, posting about your daughter's issues like this on the internet. He would also be criticized for reposting his daughter's thirst traps, with one person saying there's for sure something darker going on in that family. I'm convinced he's at the very least a perv. I saw a TikTok from a few years ago of Ash dancing and he was looking right at her butt, where in this video he can be seen in the background looking at his daughter's butt, allegedly. Another person would make a post saying Ashley's relationship with her dad. It seems like something incestuous could be going on. She did a dance to a song with him. Bounce when she walks in. That's the last dance you would do with your dad. It's also weird how he would record her cuddling with her girlfriend at the time. He also takes pics of her that time she was all dressed up. There's nothing wrong with being close and supportive, but I feel like she's the favorite too. The other kids never get posted about. Ashley will often post content that's relevant or relatable, and recently she has shared something that is actually pretty disturbing, where on her TikTok she would share a video with the caption, when someone I view as a father figure starts saying suggestive things to me. One person would say, can't convince me he's not a perv. Didn't he get exposed for following young girls and OF girls? Sure did a while back, with evidence being a Reddit post that was made that said Ashley's dad follows OF models on Insta. Disturbing. He has a wife and he's doing this. WTF. I wonder he's too comfortable with Ashley and made her and her sister kiss. He would also be following them on his Instagram account as well. And the last girl looks so young, like I don't know, this seems off. She's 19, bro. What the heck? Search this man's phone. Someone claiming to know the family would make a post on Reddit saying that Michael was very predatory. I can confirm he's very predatory. I have some friends who knew her since elementary school to 8th grade, and one of them said she told them in elementary school that he would date them if he was their age. Also, while doing some research, I came across an old Michael Barnes channel that includes older videos of Ashley and Haley posted about 9 and 4 years ago, but what caught my attention was a playlist of athletic videos featuring children and teens. Which it might be nothing, but given the history, it struck me as odd. Another strange thing is that he follows his daughter's friends on social media and likes and comments on their bikini photos.
Before I had a platform, I would post videos in a crop top or something showing, you know what, or a bikini video once in a while, because girl, I'm hot as f. I'm gonna post it. Anyways, he would like and comment on those videos all the time. And I get I'm over the age and I am not a minor anymore, but that is still creepy. That is your daughter's friend.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's weird.
Like, why are you even following me, bruh? You how old, 70?
One TikTok creator would say he literally goons to girls her age. I don't want to hear it. He's not fatherly, he's predatory. And it would seem in Ashley's upbringing, the adults around her, especially her father, contributed to the normalism of inappropriate behaviors.
Thank you. Okay, what character would I play in a movie?
You'd play the sort of evil villain that's very, very manipulative and not at all clear that you're the villain. You'd be like the heroine that's actually the secret villain.
Wait, that's like a really creative answer.
No, it's true. It's like
There seems to be a pattern of inappropriate behaviors and concerning boundaries within the family, where Ashley posted a photo with an alleged uncle on her 16th birthday, where the shirt reads, "Your little princess is my little whore." while she is dressed up like a princess with the crown. A Reddit user would go on to show concern about a potential incest relation. So is it true that Ashley's sister, her, and her dad have an incest relationship? Guys, I saw this on TikTok, but without proof and no details. Let me know if you guys know anything about it, because what the we have a pic the exposing account posted of her and her sister kissing. I don't know about the other stuff though. And then obviously I can't show this, but this is a picture of them kissing. And according to Ashley's friend, her dad took that picture for a video where they would say the kissing picture of Ashley and Haley is real, right? I hear you're saying it's old Ash. Yeah. Do you know the context? Because why are they kissing? Their dad took it for some video or something. That's what I was told. And in the now deleted video, Ashley would claim that they had been doing it since childhood. Somebody would comment on Haley's TikTok asking if she was forced to make that video, saying, I know you're probably so sick of questions and you can totally ignore me, or just like if it's true, but did Ashley force that sister vid? And according to Ashley's friends, Michael allegedly uses Ashley for social media earnings, where he pulled Ashley out of rehab so she could attend the influencer party.
From our experience, Michael Barnes uses her for her money.
I back up on that.
All he cares about is the money she makes. That is their income.
I'm telling you right now, if money is involved with
Michael Barnes,
only chases that. He honestly he could care less about any other person, but if he sees dollar signs, he will chase after that.
Ashley needs a good help system and support system, but no one gave it to her. We tried to help her. We sat there and talked to her, but she did not want to listen.
After this, people would be talking on Reddit saying, what Melina said about Michael is concerning. She basically said he uses Ashley for money and that's all he cares about. Ashley did some heinous crap that could never be swept under the rug, but let's not forget about all of the adults in her life who have failed her through enabling and using a teenager. The situation is incredibly nuanced and she is most likely, allegedly, both a victim and a perpetrator. In line with this, Ashley would post a TikTok with the caption, "Cause who am I if not exploited?" Friends would also claim that Michael would call Ashley at school and yell at her when views were down. What Ashley's old friends actually have to say about her. Her dad is low-key abusive, like he would call her at school and yell at Ashley when her views were down. The whole relationship was always weird because he's such a pushover and would always give Ashley everything she wanted. He also was furious when she didn't get the lead in 8th grade. She would also tell me how he abused her as a kid. And Ashley has even mentioned a strained relationship with her father, mentioning that they didn't even talk for 2 years. Now let's talk about the addiction and substance abuse. Ashley was claiming publicly before the hotel incident about her sobriety after addiction. In early July 2025, she posted a TikTok about being sober, where she claimed she was struggling with addiction after a breakup. Michael, who runs AA meetings, claimed he didn't know his daughter was struggling with addiction. They made a TikTok about it saying Ashley didn't tell him because she was scared. Ashley would even go on to post a video saying that she claimed to not be addicted, with the caption reading, "When my dad complains that my room isn't clean, but at least I'm not addicted to inappropriate substances, failing any classes, or pregnant." But allegedly she was doing drugs. Allegedly, Ashley has a long history of making people feel uncomfortable way before the hotel incident. There's a consistent pattern of her not respecting other people's boundaries and pressuring people into unwanted situations, often leveraging her age, money, and influence status. At one point, Ashley repeatedly tried to persuade her social media friend, who was straight, into kissing girls, despite her clear disinterest. And I think it's important to point out that they were 14 at this time.
She would comment, "If you like girls, I would be with you," or she would say, "If I was a guy, I'd be with you." She sent me something, a TikTok, and she would say, "You know, if you want, like, I'm always here to talk if you want to be with a girl." And I was like, dude, are you serious? I've told you no so many times, and I blatantly told her, like, no.
In this year-old Reddit post, Ashley makes unwanted, inappropriate advances towards girls. They would state, "Hi, I noticed you post about Ashley Barnes, and my friend is currently at the same acting camp she is at." And apparently, she makes everything very simple, with all the girls touching them weirdly and bending over in front of everyone on purpose and making weird comments about everyone, even though she has a girlfriend. She even allegedly pressured girls, her sister's friends, at sleepovers into answering invasive questions or engaging in inappropriate behavior.
And that's when things started to feel off. She switched the normal conversation we had into asking questions like, have you ever kissed anyone before? Have ever had a boyfriend, and obviously neither of us had experience like that. We were only kids, and we practically, I don't want to say we were loners, but those were literally the only friends we had, right? Yeah. So obviously our answers were no to that question. Like, obviously we didn't do any of that stuff. That stuff honestly kind of freaked us out, and it wasn't until we gave her the response of, no, we never kissed anyone, no, we've never had boyfriends before, is when she started saying stuff like, oh, don't you think it's important to have experience? And she kept saying stuff like, it's totally normal to practice with friends. You know what, baby, that's what we should do instead. She was very persistent, trying to make everything sound casual and harmless. She was like, oh my goodness, Gabby, we should teach you. Pretty much. Oh my goodness, yeah, can I be your first kiss? Like, I remember Ashley literally having Lily and like showing Gabby how it's done, grabbing Lily by the neck, pushing her on the bed, is on top of Lily, grinding on Lily, and making out with Lily very forcefully. Obviously, because of the gruesome scene that was happening in front of us, and we never have experienced anything like this before in our lives, I immediately started crying.
In the second clip, it's mentioned that she took Gabby into her room, locked the door, and said it's Gabby's turn now. And essentially, these two girls went to a sleepover at Ashley's house. But for Haley, the sister, they were in Haley's room on Omegle and doing nails. Then Ash's friend left, so she joined Haley in them. When Ashley joined, she started complaining they were doing little kid stuff and started asking more teen/adult questions, like, have you had your first kiss? When Gabby, a blonde girl, said she hadn't, Ashley fixated on it and said they should practice. They say she manipulated another friend into making out with her in front of them. Ashley got on top of another friend and aggressively made out with her without consent in front of these two girls and Haley. And in a now deleted video, she would seem to self-confirm her inappropriate behavior during sleepovers. Ashley is known for playing extreme truth or dare with a no phone rule because there couldn't be any evidence of the secret. And a creator friend would come forward and explain the truth and dare scenario.
So the first red flag for me was a game of truth or dare. We were in a small group, but the game got really weird really fast. People were being asked super uncomfortable questions, clothing was being asked to come off, and I remember feeling super uncomfortable, but I didn't grow up in an environment where I had played those games before, so I guess I thought it was normal and I was overreacting, so I felt like I had to play to fit in. During this game, she asked us to hide our phones. She made us turn all of them off so we couldn't record or like take photos of anything. Didn't want to be a buzzkill, and she was laughing and making it seem like it was normal, and so I just didn't say anything because I didn't know if it would be an overreaction. One of the questions asked was for me to kiss her partner. I immediately remember questioning why she would be okay with that, like your friend kissing your partner while you're dating them, and she just laughed it off and was like, no, it's just a game, like it's normal. So we went through with the dare, and she said she wasn't looking and she had us do it again. And I pulled her partner aside that night, and we both agreed that we were super uncomfortable with the situation that we were put into. But again, we both didn't know if we were overreacting because we didn't have a lot of experience playing these kinds of games, and we didn't know if it was normal like she was telling us it was.
Echo would go on to say that she also pressured her into making flirting content and created fake screenshots to threaten Echo, accusing Echo and her girlfriend of cheating. An old post from 2024 would reveal text messages about truth and dare, where they would say, in the 7th grade at a sleepover with me, Ashley, and 3 others, we were playing a game of spin the bottle on Roblox. Each time you land on the person, you go from a high five to a hug and then finally a kiss on the cheek/hand. We kept on landing on each other, and she did not want to be mild anymore, so she pushed me to fully kiss her on the lips. We continued to land on each other, and every time she would pressure me to do more drastic things, leading up to her slamming me against the wall and the floor to kiss. Back then, I was straight, but only viewed it as a friendly game, but now knowing that she liked me, it brings a whole new meaning to the incident. Ashley's first public relationship was with a girl named Allie, and Ashley's dad encouraged this relationship while she was still discovering her sexuality. The relationship eventually ended, and a year later, Ashley resurfaced with a YouTube video accusing Allie of using her fame and forcing her to come out. Although she deleted the video shortly after, the video spread, reigniting drama and leading to heavy backlash to Allie. After the breakup with Ashley, Allie hinted in this video that she was in a forced and unhealthy relationship. Ashley would be criticized for being a narcissist, saying she was always playing the victim and starting smear campaigns. She thinks this is nice, innocent little girl, when in reality she is a cheater and a fake Narcissists think they can never do any wrong. Ashley took advantage of her addiction and now uses it as an excuse for the stuff she was doing, but she was a manipulator way before the addiction even started. And that's on the narcissism behavior she had got from her dad. Still not an excuse. In a recent post Ashley posted on her story, she said, "Should have believed me." Her next relationship was with Savannah, which was heavily documented on social media. Ashley would go on to post a breakup video with Savannah where Savannah looks very uncomfortable.
We have broken up.
Yes.
Savannah broke up with me, but mutually we are agreeing to
not stay together.
We're still friends though. Part-time lover, full-time friends. Who knows what the future holds. But yeah, a lot of people have been speculating it, and I think we just needed to come on here at some point after we had both personally dealt with it. This has literally been 16 months of us talking every single day of our lives, so it's not like we're just gonna disappear from each other's lives. But she doesn't want to be on social media anymore. We never wanted to be on social media. In the beginning, we tried so hard. People kept leaking her face to the point where we were like, okay, whatever. Sorry. And I'm obviously always going to care for you. I'm always going to love you. There's always going to be a place for Savannah in my heart. Anything else you'd like to say to them? Because I don't know if you're going to speak to them again.
Thank you for all the memories. I'll miss you guys.
That was cute.
Savannah would go on to post a video talking about Ashley's manipulative and controlling behavior.
You guys remember, but early on in our relationship, there was a crush series. If I'm being completely honest, none of it was true. The things she said, the dates we went on, they were all pre-planned and we knew exactly what we were doing. It was all her idea. I just said yes because it was her platform, it was her idea. I didn't want to be like, no, you can't do that. As the Crush series came out, my face had been getting leaked, and it was that time where I wasn't showing my face on the internet. I wanted to stay hidden. I never really did want to be on the internet. It got to a point where people started making accounts, editing my face to make me look disgusting and just not how I actually look. The accounts are out. I got depressed. She really didn't do anything about it. She isolated me and trapped me from all of my friends and my family. I didn't really get to spend much time with my friends, including my family, and I honestly didn't know how to get out, and I just thought, oh, this is a normal relationship, this is what we're supposed to be doing. In July, she goes to this party, and there's alcohol and there's smoking involved. I don't do any of that. I don't want to, personally, if you do it, that's you, that's your personal choice, but personally, I don't do that. I don't really want to ruin my body at such a young age or ever. So going back to this party, she's there, she meets this girl, I don't know who it is, but I find out that they kissed. And I didn't really know what to do, but I forgave her. This is all sum it up. Basically, I was forced to kiss 2 other people at the Airbnb we were staying at for the glow house party. I was super uncomfortable myself and weirded out by the fact that my girlfriend was okay with me kissing somebody else.
Savannah would go on to post a video with Melina talking about how Ashley forced her to kiss each other for $950 and then grabbed Melina by the throat and forcibly kissed her.
I was sitting there and Savannah said something. I don't recall what it was, but I was like, stop before I kiss you. And we just giggled. Ashley turned and said, do it.
We kind of looked at each other like weird and confused. We're like, no, like, haha, that's like, we don't do that.
Yeah, like it's a joke. I have a girlfriend. Ashley then proceeds to
continue the joke
and beg us. I made a joke and I said, $250. Give me $250. And she said, okay.
Not thinking she would actually give Melina the $250.
So when we were sitting there, she wanted us to just peck. We kept saying no. It took us 10 minutes to finally do it because we just wanted her to shut the f up. After that, it doesn't end there. She then goes and says, do it again. I want to go in the back seat and I want to be in the middle. Pretend
there's a middle seat.
She sat there,
right there.
I sat here,
I sat
and
there.
she sat there. Again, probably took us another 10 minutes. because we did not want to do this. We did not want to do this, but we had no other choice. She was literally getting upset.
While this person was going to be in the middle seat, she offered and kept offering more money.
For us to do it the second time, she said she'd give me another $250, so I would get $500 to kiss Savannah twice. I felt so uncomfortable and I didn't know what to do, but we were stuck in this car and she was my ride home and I just wanted to go home. After this, she turned to me and she goes, "If she can kiss you, I can kiss you." And I was like, "What?" And she was begging. She was like, "Please, like, that's like hypocritical, like, why can't I kiss you? Savannah did it, like, she got to do it, I didn't, why can't I do it?" And Savannah literally had nothing to say. She was like, I don't know. Savannah had no other choice and she really couldn't say no because Ashley was going to do whatever she wanted. I couldn't even give her an answer. I couldn't say yes or no because she turns to me, grabs me by the throat and the face like this, and pulls me in and holds my face there for 3 to 5 seconds. Which is different because when me and Savannah kissed, it was... That's it. I felt so uncomfortable after. I wanted to leave and I couldn't. She had to drive me home. She said she was going to give me $750 for that.
It doesn't end there. While we were all back there, she proceeds to say, "Let's do a 3-way kiss." Me and Melina were very uncomfortable and didn't really know what to do in that moment, so we kept pushing to say no, but we really couldn't.
She wouldn't listen to us. She said she'd give me $200 more. By the way, I'm the only one getting money out of this. Savannah had to just do this. At the end of the night, I received $950 in my Venmo account to kiss Ashley Barnes. And I feel like I was taken advantage of. I felt so upset that my friend wanted this, especially with her own girlfriend. Also, I don't know if you guys can take the hint, she gets off on this. She told us she gets off on this. That's all she wanted. She was like weirdly touching herself. Like she was like doing like weird stuff. This whole time I'm telling her I had a girlfriend and I really don't want to do this. And I would never want to put this harm on my girlfriend because I love her so much.
Melina was being so respectful towards her girlfriend.
The only reason I was okay with kissing Savannah was because she wouldn't stop pressuring this. And when she said she wanted to kiss Ashley and me, that she wanted us to kiss, I was so, like, I was not going to do it. For no amount of money, I was not going to do it. She grabbed my face and did it. I would not do that to my girlfriend, especially this girl.
There would also be a screenshot of the $950 that Ashley sent. One commenter would say when she kissed Melina, that's SA because she didn't consent. She said she didn't want to do it. When you're in a situation like that, you will do whatever to get the person to stop. I have been in a situation like that and it is so terrible because you don't know what else you can do. And she was her ride home. What else was she going to do? Ashley would go to a glow house party in LA and allegedly pressure her friends into making flirting content.
Echo was forced to flirt with Savannah and Ashley wanted me to flirt with her. I voiced I have a girlfriend and that's not okay. So Echo voiced that she does not feel comfortable, she doesn't want to be posted in a bikini, and she asked multiple times to not have this happen, but Ashley kept insisting.
During all of this, we felt so uncomfortable, but really we couldn't do anything because she had such a controlling power over all of us.
She held it over her head that she paid for this Airbnb, and that this is her trip, and that we're just here because of her. You guys don't really understand how terrifying it was to be in any of these situations, because you could be sitting here saying, but why didn't you just stay now? Why didn't you leave? She is a manipulative, pathological liar. She told us that allegedly Capri said that he likes cheetah print. So the next night when we were at her uncle's house, she went by herself to the house in a cheetah print bra. She also said she wasn't going to be drinking, but when I went there, she told me she was drinking and not to tell Savannah because Savannah was super against it. She came home with a black scent because she told me that she was around guys, and that's how she talks when she's around guys. And since Capri is dark toned, that's what happened. She said she was with them for like 3 hours. That doesn't happen. We were like, "What are you talking about? Like, why are you talking like this?" And she was like, "Like, you know how it be." Like, Like, that's not how she talks. Like, why are you doing that?
I would also go on to say that she developed an obsession with Capri, who was Piper Raquel's boyfriend during this trip to LA. Commenters were going to say she's so weird, I seriously can't. She clings on to every new person she meets. It's odd. And allegedly, after she would hang out with Capri and Piper, one person would say she just hung out with Capri and Piper, and now she's copying what Capri posts on his Snapchat all the time. It's one of her best friends, boyfriends, and you're copying his posts. And apparently, after she hung out with this creator Luca, who would allegedly start doing the nose scrunch, which Luca is known for doing. Let's talk about the hotel incident that occurred on July 6, 2025. And in order to do that, let me introduce you to Brad. Brad is a TikToker with over 300,000 followers. Brad and Ashley were internet best friends. They were very close and frequently posted content together, which gave the impression of a very intimate bond. With their first video together is Brad showing up at Ashley's prom. Brad would post a story talking about his experience with Ashley, saying he says a lot of weird things happen, which he wants to bring to the public's attention. The night of July 6th, when they went back to the hotel after hanging out and filming content, Ashley began spraying pheromone spray around the room.
And she like starts like spraying pheromone spray. If you guys don't know what that is, it kind of like releases hormones in a way. So we spray like she sprays like pheromone spray like all around the room, and she's like, oh, like I just want to like smell good. And then she starts like cleaning it up. We had another TikToker. They're, I would say, very, very famous right now. Very public relationship, which is a key like factor of the story. They're in a public relationship. They come over, and
then at this point, Capri comes over.
They're, I would say, very, very famous right now. Very public relationship, which is a key like factor of the story. They're in a public relationship. They come over, and she was like freaking out, trying to like clean up the room. She's like, oh, I have to do this good. Like I need to get like, you know, in with this said person. And this whole time she's spraying pheromone spray. Like, I'm like, okay. And she's like, oh, like it's just like I want the room to smell good. So I'm like, okay, like it does smell good. And then she starts like pressuring everyone, which me as a person, like I don't drink, like I don't do like bad stuff. And she's like kind of like doing like, oh, like do this, like do this, like kind of like pressuring more of them into like doing like stuff like drinking stuff they shouldn't be drinking, and like taking stuff they shouldn't be taking. And they were clearly very uncomfortable, very like pressured, because like at first it was like fun, like, you know, they were having a fun time doing it, like voluntarily, and then it like gets to like a point where like she starts acting weird. Weird as in she keeps telling them to keep doing more and more and more. I'm like, okay, why does she want them to like, you know, drink and like do this stuff? Like, why does she want them to keep doing that?
Brad would go on to say that Ashley took him to the bathroom and told him she wanted to get with Capri, and she wanted Brad to get with her roommate. And at one point in the night, Ashley wanted to play truth and dare and kept daring them to kiss each other.
Said other like person, like, oh, we dare you guys to like, you know, like make out. We're like trolling, obviously. Like we didn't actually mean that. Like we're like, oh, because we're trying to like, you know, kind of like make her like kind of like mad, but like rage baiting. But like we didn't actually mean it. And she's like, oh, we have to do it. And then she's like, are you serious, guys? Like she's like mad because we're like rage baiting. And then we didn't think it actually happened. So Ashley like grabs her by the face and starts like making out with her. And then like she like pulls away, and then she like grabs her by the throat and pulls her back in, and she's like, what? Like she's like clearly does not want this to happen. Clearly super uncomfortable. And then we obviously felt bad because we didn't think she was gonna do that. Like that was totally out of pocket. And then she was like, see guys, see, like we did it as friends. Like me, like she was like, why can't you, talking to the said other, why can't we just like make out as friends? Like it's not cheating because like, you know, like it's like we're friends, so it's not considered cheating. This whole time she's spraying more pheromone spray. She gets this roller out, like it's like a roller pheromone, and she like puts like an X thingy like on her roommate's chest. And we're like, bro. And like at this moment, like I'm like right next to this person. I'm like, bro, like I think we're gonna get like, you know, can't like say the word on here, but it starts with an R, ends with ED. She like gets these gummies, and then She's like, oh, like, they're just gummies, they're just gummies. She tries shoving it in her roommate's mouth, like, take it, take it, take it, take it. So she bites off a little bit, just like get her to stop. And then she comes up to me with a different one. It was like a blue one. She's like, Brad, take this, Brad, take this. I'm not taking whatever that is. I'm not taking, like, clearly you've already done something that you should not have done. Like, you gave me something that you did not, like, it's not what you, like, really said it was, and I had no clue that's really what it was. And she's like, oh, take this gummy, like, shoving it in my face. And I'm like sitting back, like, on my phone, like, no, like, I'm good. And then she whispers in my ear, she's like, Brad, like, just act like you take a bite, like, you just throw it on the floor, like, I just really want this person to take it so I can get with them. And then I'm like, no. And then she literally says, oh my gosh, Brad took it. Now it's your turn. Goes and gives the other half, and, like, she's looking the other way. I'm like,
Brad will go on to say that Ashley tried to force himself on Capri, who repeatedly told her he had a girlfriend at this point, which her roommate takes her bags and runs out. Capri eventually manages to leave, and Brad was left alone with Ashley when she starts asking him inappropriate questions, like why he didn't like her anymore, suggesting if she lost weight, would he like her? Brad eventually passed out from exhaustion. Brad would also say that Ashley began inappropriately touching herself in front of him, and the next morning, Brad texted Capri to confirm what happened. Eventually, Brad decides to leave. While packing, he discovers the drawer full of inappropriate toys, lubricants, and handcuffs, to which Brad recorded the contents of the drawer as proof. One person would say this is like a kid. This was planned out. It wasn't an impulsive drunk decision. Brad would continue with a part 8, saying that he called Michael Barnes, Ashley's dad, to explain what happened, and Michael apologized to Brad for Ashley's behavior.
And then the dad kind of like tells me, like, hey, like, you need to call her, she needs to hear what she did from you. And so I call her, and she's like bawling her eyes out. She's like Brad, like, I'm so sorry, like, I've been addicted to Adderall, like, I've been taking like larger doses, like, I've been, like, you know, on like drug basically, like illegal substances. She's been, like, on that. And I'm like okay, like, I'm so sorry, like, you should, like, reach out, like something like kind of like that. But it almost kind of felt like she was kind of using it as I don't want to say she was using it like to make the situation right, but she kind of was. Like, it didn't seem like she was very genuine about it.
Brad would then tell her to get help, but she wanted to go to Paul's party instead, to which Ashley would fly back home, go to rehab for 3 days, then fly back to LA to attend Paul's party. And after the whole thing, she acted like nothing ever happened. Ashley would go on to make posts about Paul's party as well, with one caption reading, "Yeah, Paul's party." A Reddit post would be made saying her dad enables her. Ashley is 17. She went to Paul's party after her father was told about SA and her illegal underage activities. I'm just so curious what parent would let their child, who is a minor, to go out again after only 3 days in rehab to a party after being accused of SA. Not only to mention this, but I feel it is extremely weird her father is letting her just fly out and go to hotels underage when some hotels don't even allow under 21 to check in. I find it extremely off-putting how her father is just enabling all of this. In the final video that Brad would upload, he would say that he came forward because he doesn't want anyone else to be put in that kind of situation or look up to Ashley as a role model. Brad would go on to post some text messages between him and Michael, where Michael would text him and say, "Hi Brad, I hope you made it back to Florida easily and safely. I'm sorry things went sideways in Cali, but Ashley is home in New Jersey resting and regrouping. She's deeply embarrassed and remorseful about her drinking and creepy behavior and is 100% committed to sobriety. Thank you again for sounding the alarm. Hope the things between you two can remain warm and friendly. She's very fond of you, as you know. Anyway, thanks again and good luck with classes." More text messages between him and Michael would be released, where some think that Michael was manipulating Brad into keeping the situation private. Michael would say she's in bad shape, crying very hard, so be prepared when you call. Do you think I should now or should I wait a little bit? Sooner is better if you can. Okay, yes sir. Are you still talking to her? Please, as a friend, can you give Ashley a break, a second chance? We all make mistakes, especially when tequila is involved. A true friend would not take advantage of a friend's darkest moments for their benefit. I really hope that's not what you're doing. Please keep anything that happened between you two, okay? He would say, I'm not using it for my personal growth whatsoever. If I wanted more followers, I would not say anything about it and I would keep hanging out with her. What What she did is not okay in any way, and now people are coming out and telling me the stuff that she did to them as well. She will continue doing it if somebody doesn't say something. What she did was truly disgusting, and the fact that she tried doing stuff to her best friends to take advantage of them is not okay. The conversation would continue with Michael saying, Brad, we all have dark sides. We've all done things we're not proud of, including you. Are you so pure that you're going to make the world a better place by stopping Ashley? Take care of your own issue, and please don't kick Ashley while she's down. She needs support, not hate, gossip, and drama. Please do not make anything public. One person responding to the situation would say, the way Ashley's dad spoke to Brad was so sinister. We all have dark sides. Who is we? And does no one remember him getting hate for following a ton of underage girls and 18-year-old OF models? Micah will go on to kind of threaten Brad, saying there were rumors about Brad being inappropriate and non-consensual with people. Saying, Brad, there are plenty of rumors about you being totally inappropriate and non-consensual with people, and Ashley never once took them seriously. It's not your job to out Ashley. She's a good person and is working on getting better. How is it possible you are so angry that you want to hurt her so much? She's been so good to you and supported you and given you money, and this is how you repay her? Please step back and sit down. She needs help, and if you can't help, then at least don't hurt her more. The rumors, which I had screenshot proof that never happened, this is what she did to me and others. You can best to someone, but once you do something so horrific, all that goes out the window. You should not be trying to normalize what she did. If this happened to Ashley, you would want people to know. It's not fair to try to use her fame and money to turn this on me. Capri, Piper Raquel's boyfriend, also came forward with his side of the story, corroborating Brad's account. Capri thought when Ashley invited him over, it was to help her not feel like a third wheel. When he got there, Ashley pressured him into drinking. He initially refused, but eventually gave in to peer pressure. In part 3, Capri's perspective on the gummies.
So after she changes, she goes into her drawer and starts spraying a spray. So while she was spraying it, I go over to Brad and I'm like, what's she spraying? And he's like, it's pheromone spray. I'm like, what? For those of you guys that don't know what pheromone spray is, it's basically a spray that makes you, let's say, down for whatever. And after that, she grabs something else from her drawer, and it's these gummies. She basically shoves one into her roommate's mouth, basically telling her, oh, okay, take this, take this. Then she goes over to Brad, basically shoves one in his mouth, and she's like whispering something to him. And I later learned that she was telling him to pretend to take it just so I could take it. Then she goes to my mouth, tries to put it in my mouth, and I already know what it was. Like, I'm already hearing what it was. I already know. But I'm asking her, I'm like, what's in this? Like, what is this? What is this? And she's lying. She's like, oh, it's an edible. And I'm like, oh, I don't mess with those, I don't mess with those. Then she says, oh, it's a drink. And I'm like, oh, nah, I gotta go home. I gotta drive home. No thanks. And then she's like, okay, I'm just kidding. It's a regular gummy. Just take it. It's a regular gummy. And I know what it was. I know what it is. So I'm like, no, I'm not taking it. I'm not taking it. I'm not taking it. So then she like goes into the bathroom or something. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? I'm talking to her roommate. Bradley and her went to the bathroom talking to her roommate. I'm like, what is going on? And the roommate's like, bro, just take the gummy because like she's like not gonna shut up about it. I'm like, whatever. Okay. So after that, I go to the bathroom, grab my phone, and I call my girlfriend like 4 times. She doesn't answer because it's like 3 a.m. So I text her a bunch. I'm texting her, please make up an excuse so I can get out of here because I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but I need to get out of it.
We go on to mention things that Brad mentioned, saying that they both felt uncomfortable and Ashley wanted to play truth or dare, and that they dared Ashley to make out with her roommate, which Ashley wanted to make out with Capri. And then they would all get together and make a group video explaining why they couldn't leave.
And then we all have our own reasons why we didn't leave, because a lot of people were saying like online, like, oh, you could have just left. So me personally, the reason why I couldn't just leave is, so if you guys like don't know, I've hung out with Ashley multiple times. Every time she flies me out, and if we stay at a hotel, she pays for the hotel. I can't like go and, get a hotel. I'm not of age, so I cannot go out and do that. And he could just bring me to Piper's house for one.
Yeah,
you guys are known.
That's true.
She's a known figure. She can't just bring a random person.
And it's not even that she's a known figure. It's common courtesy. Why? Yeah. How could I bring a random person Piper's never met in her life into her home where she sleeps, does everything? And it just also, I didn't want to leave him there by himself at that time. And another reason is I was not fully clear-minded, as most of you guys know. So that's our reasons why we didn't leave immediately.
But every time I would try and get out my phone and call an Uber, she would take my phone and put it under past, so I couldn't really do anything. We did try, and we did do like some dares, trolling around, saying like, oh, I dare you to leave with me.
Yeah.
But she wasn't taking it.
Because, and another thing is, at the time, we really didn't really understand to an extent of what she was doing, because to us, she was our friend. But I just thought, honestly, that she was just drunk. And now, a couple days later, we understand like definitely what she was trying to do, especially after hearing everybody's experiences.
And as some of you know, videos about this situation went viral, getting millions of views. From this, Ashley would be compared to P. Diddy, where people would be posting memes of Ashley and apparently driving by her house yelling Diddy Barnes. People would also accuse Brad and Capri of clout chasing for views and follows.
Once I hit 6.7 million followers, I'm going to be posting parts 6 and 7.
But Capri's account gets banned and he blames Ashley for it. Capri would go on to post a screenshot of some text messages that was sent by Brad that said, hey, also, just thought I would put this out there after seeing Capri get banned. July 12th, roughly 4 a.m., Ashley, along with a lot of others that Gianna and I did not know too well, had come over to Gianna's house. We still don't know why or how they got the address, but she briefly talked about how she knows people to get others banned for about $3,000. I mean, it's obvious it was her who got Capri banned, but just odd to me how she was specifically talking about it July 12th. She went on to say it would be crazy to do that to someone, blah, blah, blah. I wasn't aware of who she was or anything, but immediately got awful vibes from her.
I get what I did was wrong, but y'all have to understand that that's just what I thought at the time, bro. I thought that it was her, and a lot of people are mixing this up and saying that I'm lying about other things. Nothing else. I did not lie about anything. I didn't lie about anything. But that one, the banning thing, I wasn't 100% sure it was her, but I was 99% sure it was her.
People would also accuse Brad of using the situation for money as well, with one post stating doing the same thing Capri did, where Brad can be seen posting a story saying that doesn't mean it's going to be up right away. It will be up within the next few days. I'm just seeing people's thoughts on her videos first and going from there. Of course, we got Brad following Capri's steps into getting money, saying to go follow his Snapchat, but not going to post anything. So why don't you wait until the video is actually ready? He's just going to spam post some stories so he can get the money just like Capri. Brad was the only one I felt like wasn't doing it for clout, but if you got to go on Snap, it's so obvious. And at this point, the community did not trust Capri and Brad, stating, I think Brad started off with good intentions. I believe his experience at the beginning was real, and I feel bad for him because his videos explaining the hotel situation seemed very vulnerable and authentic, but at this point, he's just clout chasing and dragging things on. Follow my Snap for part blank. That proves you don't really care and you're just trying to get more followers. Capri is doing the same thing, but 100 times worse. I believe Brad didn't mention Capri's name in the original videos because Capri didn't want to be involved for some reason. Maybe because he had a girlfriend or he just wanted to stay out of drama. But when he saw how much attention and followers Brad was getting, he joined in. I don't think they are necessarily making things up now, but I think they're exaggerating things to make her sound worse than she already does. And Capri alleging that Ashley got him banned is plain out wrong in my opinion. He was posting 100 times a day and TikTok most likely caught that as spam, so he was banned. There's a very simple answer. I do hope Ashley gets the help she needs though, as she was clearly struggling and we could all see it. What she did was terrible and I hope she realized that. The aftermath of this would reveal a video of Ashley drinking after the hotel incident while claiming to be in rehab. And in a now deleted video, a day before the hotel incident surfaced, Ashley would post a video that seemed to be criticizing her friends and her ex rather than taking responsibility for her actions. In the same day, she would post a video on Snapchat too, which looked like a preemptive attempt to save herself.
Hi guys, it's Ashley Barnes. I'm about to go to class. It starts in like 15 minutes. But I just wanted to publicly apologize for the last 3 months of my life and also just kind of the fact that I'm not the person that you guys followed when I started making content. And some people have commented saying like, I miss like when she used to do this kind of content. I miss when she used to do this. And I was like, yeah, you know, you grow and you change. And I kind of gave up on talking about important topics and posting videos about the things that I'm passionate about because people online, especially these days, have gotten so mean. Like, tell me why I see so many people being like, bring back bullying, like all this stuff. what happened to the positivity, what happened to the caring for each other, building a community, mental health, like awareness, why were we moving backwards? But it had gotten to the point where I was like, okay, whatever, I just need to get my videos in. And so I was just posting as bland as it could be, literally a dance, a lip sync, basic content, because it seems like it's so much easier to be consumed by the majority when it's not something that's hard to swallow, you know? But I just want to say, I'm feeling pretty inspired, and I'm feeling like I'm gonna do a mix of what I've been doing, but also bring back some of those videos. And I don't care. Like, when I would post videos talking about mental health and stuff back when I was 14 and did not have followers, people loved it. They're like, oh my God, she feels so real. And then once I hit like 1 million, people were like, she doesn't understand struggles. I'm still the same person I was with or without followers. It's a number on my phone. It doesn't follow me around the second I turn it off. But this is really long to put on my story. I hope I can still put on my story. But what I wanted to say is that I'm sorry. And I think going through this recovery journey and finding myself again has really like made me realize that I don't want to just accept defeat. I don't want to be this person. I want to do more.
So essentially, she was saying sorry for the last 3 months of her life, but not for allegedly essaying her friends. And up to this point, Ashley clearly didn't seem to care at all about the victims, nor was she taking any responsibility for her actions. And if that wasn't enough, another video surfaced of Ashley joking about the incident.
How does it feel assaulting 12 people?
You're next.
Eventually, Ashley posted response videos addressing the situation after getting severe backlash and losing over 200,000 followers.
A lot of people were complaining as to why I haven't said anything online about the allegations being made against me, and there were multiple reasons for this. I wanted to handle this situation maturely and deal with it how it should be dealt with offline. Also, I was off my phone for a while because I was inpatient at rehab, which is something that I had to push to get myself into. I wanted to make sure that enough changes had been made to ensure that I don't fall back into old habits or that all of this was for nothing, before speaking publicly about anything. The situation is heavily layered and unfortunately was being treated only as a way to gain clout or hop on a trend rather than being handled for what it really was. Many inaccurate terms are being thrown around to describe events that do not live up to such titles. I am not about to sit here on video and disprove the many people who have just blatantly lied on my name in order to gain clout. Although I haven't seen every single thing posted about me, I have seen names of people who I've never met claiming that they are a victim of me. I ask you guys not to believe every single thing that you see online because unfortunately the truth is often the least popular narrative, and the things that people will do for likes is insane. I do have information such as screenshots, voice memos, and documents that I could share to clear my name for many and multiple of the allegations made against me, and it would help clear the air through different fabricated stories and lies. To do so, sharing this information would require me to publicly post about the actions of other minors involved in these situations. I hesitate to do that because my intention with this video is not to bring any of the public harassment in which I or anyone related to me has received in the past month onto other people.
Ashley would go on to blame her actions on addiction, saying her father, the one responsible for her care, never got her the help she needed, even when professionals urged it, and that her job on social media was badly affecting her mental health, but adults in her life didn't care.
I was begged to go to the ER and be admitted to a psych ward, but obviously that didn't happen because in most cases, social media came first. I'm going to clear up a couple of the lies. To start, I never forced anybody or lied about what substance I was giving someone, and I never actually gave out my prescribed medication to anyone. I have also never taken legal action against anyone. After my most recent breakup, I was issued a cease and desist order, which I have the documentation and proof of, so I'm unable to talk about any of those things. I don't know why people who I cared for and trusted would lie so directly online, but I think that switching up details helps this storyline about my character that they are creating. I wish that during the end of the relationship I wasn't using, but I can never undo that. To this person, I apologize. I seriously do for sharing so much of our relationship online, and I do take full responsibility for that. Another thing that I want to bring up is one of the people who is claiming to be a victim of me, who's lying like many others. I have screenshots and messages of her admitting that she liked me. We used to be friends, but I stopped talking to her because it made me uncomfortable when she admitted that she liked me. She was 20 and I was 71, flip it around.
She would also go on to say that she denies getting Capri's account banned, and also suggested that flirting with the Capri wasn't one-sided.
I would also like to say that I have taken accountability for the people that I did hurt, who I was able to contact. These apologies were made before anything was even brought online, which I do have messages and proof of if I need to show those, but I do need to remind you guys that it is illegal to post private conversations online, which is why I'm being so careful with what I show you guys. But this story that they've created about simply wanting an apology or to get justice is not the case at all. I do not have to apologize to the entire internet for allegations on my name that don't have proof. But what I do owe you guys an apology for is how I let myself turn into someone that I've been very against. I wish every day that I never started using substances, but substances aren't the only thing to blame in this situation. Growing up, my boundaries were never respected, and thus I was never taught to set boundaries for people or for the internet. As a 61-year-old girl, I started sharing every detail of my life with everyone online. From the second I woke up to the second I went to sleep, and I was never told that that was wrong. I do apologize for not knowing or doing better. My mental health, physical health, schoolwork, personal life, friends, and everything was set aside at the expense of content creation. I am sorry for all the people in my life which I overshared online.
And finally, she would go on to say that people in her life, most likely her father, became heavily involved once an agency reached out to profit from her after it blew up at the expense of her health. After this, Ashley would disappear from social media for a while, and it's been reported that she is no longer living with her father, where she can be seen in a comment saying, "I had to find a place to live and had to go to rehab first." Ashley said that she was getting the proper mental health and even mentioned that she was checking into rehab, but people started spotting her out in public multiple times, and that's when the questions kicked in. Was she really getting the help like she claimed? Pretty soon, people were snapping photos of her in public places, and the whole thing started to look a lot less convincing. People would see Ashley in public, record her, and tell her to seek help while calling her out for her actions. A post on Reddit would be made saying Ashley citing TikToks are low-key weird. Is it just me, or are these TikToks kind of weird? Don't get me wrong, I agree she should be acknowledging the issue and apologizing for her victims, but at the end of the day, she's also still human. Do you expect her to just lock herself in a room for the rest of her life? Also, the way people basically track her down, like showing up to her house, is weird. One person would say, "I don't think some of you know how rehab works. It's not like a mental hospital where you stay for an extended period of time. Unless you have an addiction that has spanned for years, you generally do not need to be inpatient for very long and will usually be kept there just to get clean and through withdrawals. Then will be made outpatient and will receive care that way." Despite taking a step back from social media, she quickly resumed posting, especially on Snapchat, where she could be seen posting a lot of stories on her Snapchat, with this person saying, "Didn't she say she was not going to post a lot?" To me, it seems like a lot. In more recent video, she posted saying, "I fell to addiction and got sober on my own." She claimed to be sober even before Brad's videos surfaced, which clearly wasn't accurate since she herself attributed the entire hotel incident to her addiction and substance abuse. And now, barely a month later, she's once again claiming to be sober on her own. This commenter would say the fact that it's two different clips, the planning, the posting, the fronting for social media, refusing to get off social media, saying you'll post less, then going from a ratio of like 100 snaps a day to 75 is not posting less. It's all so incredibly performative and planned. She needs to get off the internet for a few years, if you ask me. I get that this is her job, but in what way does that service the victims of herself? But many people were supporting Ashley for taking care of herself and getting the help that she needs. With one person saying, "I feel like we all lost the plot over the last month, so many people switched up and now are defending her as if her actions never happened because she talked about herself, how bad her life was, which excuses it all or something." One person would say, "I'm so proud of you, Ash. You look so much more healthier." And another saying, "Yes, I will never become a supporter of her again. But genuinely, she just seems so much happier away from her dad, and she seems like she's getting help now." Another person would say, "Keep in mind, SA is usually learned from family or trauma. The cycle just repeats without help in some cases. Statistics do show links between childhood SA and later harmful behaviors. Or traumagenic model suggests that some CSA victims may display inappropriate behaviors or replicate their victimization." More people would agree with this, saying, "Well, because people who often experience SA do end up being hyper Well, however, that doesn't excuse anything that she's done, and everything that she does is still completely horrible and horrific. I also do feel like she thinks that it's normal considering the amount of times she's done it, so somebody must have normalized this for her, and I'm thinking that it's her father. And that's going to wrap up today's video. Thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about this situation, and I'll see you in the next video. Also, YouTube thinks you'll like this video, so go check it out.